Hey y'all, it's Redneckchick, and today we're gonna cover a few things and why I haven't been uploading as much. Number one, my Elgato is broken again. Okay, well let's be real. It's still broken. I guess I just got lucky a few times. Number two, I live stream, and if you don't know that, shame on you. Y'all should be following me on Twitter and Twitch and Facebook and MySpace and I don't know, Instagram, Snapchat, I don't know, all the social media because, I want to be cool, and I want to stay connected. But anyway, all the links are down there under the video. Yeah, check them out. They're awesome. Well, now that you know the reasons, thank you so much for watching, and I'll... Just kidding. Anyway, we are gonna talk about me, Redneckchick, or Stephanie. If you don't know my real name, shame on you again. No, I'm just kidding. My name is Stephanie. And let's get started with, I was born and raised on Long Island, New York. I know, weird, right? So growing up, my grandfather, he's my idol. I love my grandfather. I don't know what I would do without him. He taught me everything. I was raised like pretty much working with him. When I was young, I would go out fishing with him. He's a commercial fisherman. So, but mostly like crustaceans. So like clams, scallops, conchs, lobsters, that sort of thing. Not actual fish. But I would work with him. Me and my sister, we'd always be on the boat at such a young age. And we started to learn like that work ethic and that drive, and it was fun. I mean, yeah, of course we were kids, so anything was fun, and as you get older, of course, work gets really boring and annoying and you're just tired and stressful all the time. But we were pretty much raised around the water, living on an island. Of course, obviously. But we were raised on the water, and also he taught me a lot of things like to do with mechanics. Always fixing trucks. I started driving when I was 8. I actually got caught up the island driving. If you don't know the phrase up the island, I just mean not where I live, like an hour away from where I live. We went down some side roads, and my grandmother actually let me drive. And I got caught. I was 8 years old, remind you. I was driving an old 1990 Suburban 1500 or something. And I was just tall enough to touch the pedal and look over the steering wheel. And I got caught, but it wasn't by a police officer. And I should say thankfully, but no. The complete opposite. I didn't get tickets or anything or fined or whatever. But it was like this park forest ranger guy. I don't know. This guy gave me like a 2-hour lecture. I probably would have been happier if my grandmother got a ticket. She even said so herself. It would have been a lot better than to hear this guy talk for 2 hours. But we learned a lot, me and my sister. We were always outside. We were never, like, yeah, of course, okay, we're kids. We're playing and painting and playing with toys and stuff inside. But we were nonetheless raised outside, doing things with our hands, learning, driving. They have this saying, and I kind of take it to heart. Not like to heart, but that's how I portray myself. I am a jack of all trades, but a master at none. Or I don't know if that's right. Don't get all mean and mad at me in the comments below, but the phrase kind of represents that I'm well-rounded. I know a little about everything. And I don't know a lot about one certain thing. But I do know a lot, and they taught me a lot. I'm really grateful for my grandparents and my father. And that made me who I am today. So always out on the boats, always fishing, always driving, always fixing my truck. And then, of course, I got older and I got into sports. I was really big into softball. I actually played softball for about 5 years. And then one year I broke my left foot from horseback riding. I broke my elbow and not my elbow, my wrist and my foot from horseback riding because we also own 2 horses. But anyway, softball. I had broken my foot, but I still wanted to play. So I got the cast. I also had an air cast to go around it so I could walk on it. And I don't like to what's the word, gloat or anything, but I was still so good even with a broken foot. Yes, I couldn't run bases. What happened was you get a runner, obviously, if you're not familiar. I would go up to bat and I'd get a runner. I was still so good that I made All-Stars. Again, I was on All-Stars. I played softball for about 5 years throughout high school, and I was on All-Stars 4 years. So that was awesome. Unfortunately, now this is where things change. After my last year of softball, I got into drugs. You know, I started smoking weed and stuff like that. Like, you know, weed. Okay, if you haven't tried it, good for you. If you have, it doesn't matter. Weed, in my opinion, weed is not that bad. But it's still, you know, it's still a drug. So I got into that, unfortunately. I started smoking. Yes, I am a smoker. That's absolutely terrible. But then, along with the weed, I started doing pills and other things. And I was going downhill. This was about 10th grade. Yeah, around 10th grade. And I wasn't doing good. I was skipping classes. I was skipping school altogether. And it was, you know, it was bad. I had a few incidences where, well, I won't really get into that, but I definitely like woke up one day and I'm like, what am I doing? What is wrong with me? And that day I quit. Cold turkey. I quit. No more. I put everything down. I'm like, this is stupid. What am I doing with my life? I'm gonna ruin it. And I stopped. And I'm proud to say, okay, I'm not some, you know, miracle story or anything. I don't want to have you guys like give me pity or anything like that. But I'm just saying, I realized what was going on and what was happening, and I was like, I'm wasting my life, and so I stopped. Up until this day, I don't do any drugs. I'm not a drug user. I don't like drug users. I'm sorry, you know, there's people out there that use marijuana medicinally and stuff like that. I have nothing against you guys. Like I said, I don't want to make this a big deal, but I don't do it. And that's just one thing, like, I'm happy for. I'm glad I haven't, because if I still did it to this day, could have already overdosed and died. Or, you know, it's simple as that. If I didn't stop, like, the path I was on, it was going so quickly, and I was going through so many drugs. It was not good. Not good at all. But then I realized, and things started to get better. I started working as scrapping. I was 17. I was driving, and I had a trailer, a 20-foot trailer. So I started scrapping metal. And for those of you that don't know, recycling metal, you get paid for it by weight. So different metals are different prices. I can get into this all day, guys, but long story short, I started scrapping metal. So I would just go around to restaurants, to people's houses. Everyone knew me and knew what I did, and they would just give me their metal. Any kind of metal, I would take it. I've taken ice cream trucks before to the scrap yards. So that was my job throughout the last 2 years of my high school career. So I would recycle scrap metal. And I would still help my grandfather. I wouldn't go out on the boat anymore around 11th grade. Well, around 9th grade, I didn't go out on the boat anymore. 11th and 12th grade, I started scalloping in the winter, but only when I didn't have school, so like on the weekends, and we'd have to leave at like 5 in the morning, and it was freezing, and oh my god, that's a whole nother story. But so I didn't go out on the boat anymore, but I did get the conchs or clams or lobsters what I would do is you have to, like clams for instance, I would have to rack them, which means sizing categories, and I'd have to bag them and tag them, and then I would not ship them but drive them to a seafood wholesale distributor, and we would sell it to them. So I was doing that, plus I was recycling scrap metal. I also do a bunch of other things. I'm a home health aide. I am a housekeeper. I do a lot of towing and recovery, and I do transporting. Anyway, I went to school, I graduated high school. After high school, I moved down to North Carolina. And my mom lives in North Carolina. So after high school, I went down there, I started renting a house, I got a job, then I got 2 jobs, and then I got 3 jobs, and it was getting a little much, but I was still getting by, and I was having fun, and I loved it down there. I absolutely loved it. Now, unfortunately, my aunt had passed away back in New York, so I came back for that, and then I just ended up staying here. And not too much longer, my sister got pregnant, and she had her son. I call him Junior. He's 4 years old now, and I couldn't leave. So I started renting a room, and it's not what I'm looking for, but it's really hard out here. It's really expensive. If you guys don't know New York, it's really expensive. I don't know. I personally, I don't want to live here anymore, but I have to do what I have to do. So I rent a room, and then in 2015, like January, February, I got into gaming. It was still winter, and I got bored, and I got Xbox Live. I have internet, and I started gaming, and I met Judd. And if you guys don't know Judd, he has a YouTube channel as well, Judd Gaming. I will put Judd's YouTube link in the description below, along with all my other links, like I had said 12 times in this video. But seriously guys, I've been live streaming a lot, so definitely find me on Twitch. That's twitch.tv/redneckchick631. Follow me on Twitter, because that's when I post my live stream hours and times. But guys, I wanted to make this video to give you a little background about myself and my life. And if you did enjoy it, I know some people don't really like these videos. They find it not interesting, but some of you really find it interesting. I have a lot more stories to tell you guys. So, if you do want to see more videos like this, let me know in the comments. Also, leave a like if you did enjoy it. And any of your input. I want to grow this YouTube channel, and I want to grow it with you guys. Thanks for watching, and have a good night. Bye, y'all.